So back in the 16th century, people in Europe decided that ankles were just way too mainstream. Like, oh, you can see my feet. How scandalous. So they came up with this fashion trend called the chopine, which sounds like either a fancy French dessert or the final boss in a ballet-themed RPG. But nope, chopines were these massive platform shoes worn mostly by women, especially in places like Venice. And when I say massive, I mean some of them were over 20 inches tall. That's not a shoe, that's a stilts-based lifestyle. These things were made out of wood or cork, and then usually covered in leather or velvet, because if you're gonna break your neck on the cobblestone streets, you might as well look like royalty while doing it. Now, the original idea behind chopines was pretty straightforward. Keep your feet dry and clean, because the streets were filled with, you guessed it, mud, sewage, and whatever else the 1500s decided to casually dump outside your front door. But naturally, humans can't just leave well enough alone, so they turned it into a status symbol. The higher the platform, the more important you were, because nothing screams class and elegance like walking around like a drunk giraffe on a trampoline. And here's the kicker. These shoes got so high that women literally couldn't walk in them alone. Like, they needed servants on either side to help them stay upright. Imagine needing a personal pit crew just to walk across your dining room. Meanwhile, somewhere, a peasant in bare feet is tripping over a rat and thinking, wow, must be nice. And these weren't just a niche thing either. Venetian laws even tried to cap the height limit at 3 inches. But the wealthy ladies were like, oh, that's cute, and just ignored it like it was terms and conditions. It got to the point where wearing chopines was almost like extreme fashion sports. Women trained for them. There are actual records of girls practicing how to walk in them before big public events, because apparently snapping your ankle in front of the Doge was a major faux pas. Even courtesans wore them, which just further confused things, because now everyone was 10 feet tall and no one knew who was rich, who was broke, or who was just an overachieving escort. And if you're wondering how they manage stairs, the answer is poorly. There are woodcuts and paintings showing people practically being carried upstairs like weirdly dressed toddlers. There's even speculation that some women wore long skirts not for modesty, but to hide the fact that their legs weren't even doing anything. They were just being wheeled around like malfunctioning furniture. Eventually, like all bad decisions, chopines fell out of fashion. People realized that being 2 feet taller than your skeleton was maybe not the best move for long-term spine health. But still, for a glorious, wobbly moment in history, the streets of Venice were filled with women teetering around like confused flamingos, all in the name of high fashion.